But even comparing some of the popcorn nugs of the homegrown to some of the popcorn nugs with the dispo stuff, the popcorn nugs of the homegrown looks bigger than the dispo stuff. What's good, y'all? So like I said, we got a banging episode for you guys today. We're about to head out, take you guys on a road trip, on a little tour. We're going to head out to the Commerce City spot, hit up the cookies out there, see what they got for us. But today's episode, like I said, is going to be a little bit different because we're going to be comparing homegrown and dispo. And I'm going to head out to one of the well-known dispos. Everyone knows Cookies, man. Everyone knows Cookies. Vernon recently got his IG taken down, unfortunately, but that's just what we deal with in this community, man. But we're gonna check it out, compare them, and see what's good. So let's head out and go for the ride. By the way, I just got my hair did. We're heading out to LA tomorrow. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Let's go. Alright, y'all. Now, honestly, I don't really be hitting up the dispos like that and stuff, but there's just so many options out here. Sometimes you can't not hit them up. But also, I just wanted to bring you guys along because some of you guys live in Prohibition land. Ain't never really seen a dispo, ain't never hit the inside of a dispo, ain't never seen the cookies before. So we're going to take you guys to one of the cookies and show you guys what they got inside. I got my eyes on a couple strains that I may grab. I seen like the Daydreamer, I seen the Georgia Pie. I feel I might grab that one. Grab a 3.5 and eighth, see how much it costs. I think it's like 35 bucks, but we're going to see. And we're going to compare that to my good old homegrown, some of the homegrown that I grown, stuff like the Banoffee Pie. That's the strain I bred myself. We got that Cherry Paloma cut, shout out from my homie JR. We got a bunch of strains on it right now, so I can do a little comparison and see what's good, man, see what's cooking. So, but drop it in the comments and let me know, guys, if you guys ever hit up any dispos, if you guys live in Prohibition land, if you guys do, where do you guys get your flower, man? Are you guys only home growers? Let me know. Alright, y'all, so they brought us to the middle of nowhere to get an ATM because you know them dispos don't accept card and shit for whatever reason. It's federally, you know, prohibited and shit. So we gotta find an ATM, and we're at some massive USPS now, and I don't know. Got this big thing, whatever this is right now. Alright, y'all, so I think we're pretty close. We can see the blue building. It's the cookies. We can finally see it, guys. And it's actually literally super close to another dispo. They're like basically right next to each other. Pulling up. Let's get it. Cookies Commerce City, bro. Hello. Go on in?
Yeah.
Yep. I just wanted to grab some flour actually. Georgia Pie, I think it was, and is it Daydreamer? That both of them are from Cookies.
Yeah. We have Georgia Pie for sure, and then the Dying Dream.
I'm gonna just go with the Georgia Pie thing.
Get the Georgia Pie?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go grab that.
Thank you. Lemon sherbet. Rainbow. Mr. Big Stick. I heard about that one.
Buy the edibles for the weekend today. Oh, nice.
$15.08.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. There's an ATM in here, bro. Alright, y'all, so we grabbed that Georgia Pie, an eighth. It was 45 out the door for this eighth. Cookies. So we're gonna head up and see what's good. Taste it. These freaking lights. I cleaned these lights, buffed them out, and they look so freaking nice, bro. No cap, straight up. She's a beauty. I love this whip. So we just hit up another dispo, grabbed some more flour, and man, this whip.
3 days later.
Okay, guys, we're back. We got the Georgia pie, but we're also going to do a little bit of a comparison today because we're going to be comparing it to some of that good old homegrown. Right here, I got a big-ass jar of some banoffee pie, and down here, we also got some banoffee pie, but we're going to be comparing that, like I said, to that Georgia pie because one is homegrown and one is dispo. And a lot of people say homegrown and dispo, they just can't be compared. The homegrown is way better, but I actually want to give the dispo a fair shot at what they got. Now, this is some of that Georgia pie. This is from Cookies. You guys would have seen us. We just hit up the cookie spot and grabbed this. This is an eighth, a 3.5. Total THC is testing it at about 28%. And everyone knows Cookies. Cookies is super hype. But is it worth the hype? But is the hype better than the homegrown, or is the homegrown better than the hype? To help us figure that out today, we actually got the Dankometer. This is a pretty cool rating system which I came up with. And we're going to be rating and comparing the flower based on looks, or bag appeal, smell, taste, value, and of course give you guys our final verdict depending on all these factors. So without further ado, let's just get straight on into it and break things down, because I firstly want to start off with the looks or the bag appeal. Now down here we got some of the homegrown, and you guys can see the looks or the bag appeal is pretty decent. I would say I like how this looks. This looks really good for me. It looks great. It's not a perfect trim job, but a lot of home growers don't really get too fussed on the trim job. You guys can see down here we got a little bit of a piece of a stalk on there, but that's how you can tell this is some good old homegrown. Now let's just move this to the side and actually pop out some of this Georgia pie, because this is actually what we're going to be comparing. Now this is the Georgia pie which we picked up from Cookies. As you guys can see, it's got all the information on there. Everything you guys will need to find out is on there. But let's pop it out and actually see how it looks. Now, the first thing straight out of the packaging, straight out of the container, I can tell that the trim job is a little bit different. Also, I can tell that these are some pretty small nugs. They look like a bunch of little popcorn nugs. Now, this is supposed to be a 3.5 G, so we're actually going to have to scale that and see exactly if it is. Now, a lot of times you head out to the dispo and you just have faith in the dispo, what they're selling, what they scaled up, and what they weighed. But a lot of the times you don't actually weigh your dispo stuff. Now, a couple of times in the past, I have hit up the dispo and I've scaled my stuff, and it's actually been a 0.1 or 0.2 shorter than it was supposed to be. So let's scale this and see if it's an exact 3.5. Now, based on the scale, it actually says it's a 3.6, 3.6.4. So at least they ain't shorting us right now, which is fantastic. But that said, in doing a comparison, you guys can see some of the smaller nugs. Now, I popped a bunch of these banoffee pie nugs on here. I popped some bigger nugs, like some big colas type nugs, but I also popped some smaller nugs on here, so we can do a little bit of a comparison. The bigger nug is way bigger than the Cookies nug that we got with this Georgia pie. But even comparing some of the popcorn nugs of the homegrown to some of the popcorn nugs with the dispo stuff, the popcorn nugs of the homegrown looks bigger than the dispo stuff. Now, what I've noticed is some of the Georgia pie from the dispo actually looks like it's got such a clean trim job that it looks almost like it's PGR. A lot of people have differing views on PGRs. Personally, I try to stay away from it, and I prefer homegrown. But with the homegrown, you can actually have a look at it and see a lot of those fan and sugar leaves on there. Whereas with the dispo stuff, you don't see any sugar leaves on there really. Also, with the dispo stuff, there are no stalks on there, no real stems or anything like that. But with some of the homegrown, you do see where the stalk actually connects to the branch. You actually do see where the stalk connects to the bud and where the bud has grown. Personally, I don't have that much of an issue with having a couple stalks on my thing. So right off the bat, just based off of looks, we're able to see a few differences between the two. Now for the looks or bag appeal, I would have to say it's actually pretty decent. So I'm gonna drop this one into the decent category. Now while I was thinking maybe we can put it in the dank category, because it does not look bad at all. It's actually a really nice light green color. It does not look out of this world, so I can't actually give it the dank. But it's really close. I would have to say it's between decent and dank. So for that, we're going to drop it just in decent. Maybe I'm actually just move it around a little bit just so it's just between the two. Now next up, y'all, we're moving over to smell. We're trying to figure out if this smells good, if it's worth it or not. And this is that Georgia pie. It smells okay. It does not smell as crazy in terms of the chirps as the banoffee pie homegrown that I've got, or even some of the cherry paloma or the gas tree. It's got a really nice smell, but it's not crazy. You do get in there, and you know sometimes you gotta squeeze the nug. Just really get the smells out there. Break the nug open a little bit to get in there. And when I break it open, you do smell a really nice smell. It's just not as dank. It's not as pronounced. It smells a little fruity, a little sweet, with a little bit of gassy dank on the inhale. But it does smell pretty good. So with this one, I'll probably have to give this one, again, just between the dank and decent mark. It's not 100% dank, but it ain't really just decent either. So for this one, we're gonna also set this one down in the decent zone. It's not wowing my nose buds, my smell or anything, my senses, so I'm gonna drop this one in decent. Now next up, guys, we got the taste. Now the taste is an important one, and that's why I'm switching it back to showing you guys the glass we brought out, because I did a little bit of research and they were saying the best way to taste your flower, get the best, most flavor out of it and taste it, is through the glass. Now a lot of you guys know I love a J. You just can't beat the J. I love a fat ass J and you just can't beat it. But for the purposes of this episode, I'm gonna try to break things down and hit it in the bowl. Now as you guys can see, when it comes to the taste, we're gonna break this down using a grinder. We're gonna pack a bowl and we're gonna hit it in the bowl to see exactly how it tastes, if it's actually worth the hype or not. Because a lot of times flower can look awesome, it can even smell awesome, but it just does not taste great at all. So let's just pop this in and see exactly how it looks, see exactly how it tastes, and see if the Georgia Pie by Cookies is worth the hype. So we're grinding this stuff up, baby, and a lot of people know that when you grind your flower up, a lot of those terps actually come out and smell a lot better. So let's actually see if we notice any smell. It actually smells pretty decent. I'm gonna definitely have to leave it in the decent category. I was thinking maybe move it down or move it up, but it'll stay right where it's at. It's actually pretty decent. And after grinding it up, let's see what we got. We got some decent looking flower, man. So after grinding it up, as you guys can see, we got some nice flower. It's some really nice light green, almost like a lime green color when you grind it up. Now let's pack a bowl. Okay, so we pack up a bowl. We pack a nice fat bowl. And we're going to hit that and see what's going on. Give it a run, give it a test, and see if it's worth it, guys. Now, this is the fun part, the taste test. Shout out my homie Colorado Chris. We about to taste it. Oh my God. Ooh. Guys, help. Alright, y'all. Honestly, I haven't hit a bowl in real long. So that messed me up. Woo. I gotta say, the Georgia Pie is dank. I'm overheating, guys. You know when you hit something so dank, you start to overheat. And it does not help that was my first J for the day. I gotta take these gloves off. I'm melting, bro. Oh my God. Let's head back over to the dankometer, guys, because we gotta rate that one. The taste, I would say the taste is dank. We're putting it right up in the dank category, because that not only did it have me coughing my lungs out, barking like a dog, but it actually tasted pretty good. Tasted pretty damn good even in the glass. Usually I would say my personal preference is a J, because everything tastes pretty similar in the glass, but this one tasted pretty damn good in the glass, bro. I could barely even control myself. So I would definitely put that one in the dank. Now the final verdict, actually, before we get to the final verdict, we got to touch on the value. Now the value is something that may vary depending on your view on things, depending on where you're at, and depending on what you think. For me, the Georgia Pie was pretty decent. I think it cost me like 40 bucks out the door, 45 out the door, which is pretty decent, not that bad. But considering out here in Colorado, in certain places I can grab an O for literally 56 bucks out the door. Is it really worth it at 40 out the door for 3.5? I'm not 100% sure. But depending on what state you're in, 3.5 for 40 may actually be a great deal, especially with the cookies. But if you're a home grower like me, nothing could beat the homegrown. So this is pretty decent. Is it better than homegrown? I'm not 100%. But I gotta say, in terms of value, to grab something that's pretty decent, really hyped up, a lot of people know about and will like to try, it's not that bad. You know, coming to think about it, I went out to Cali this weekend and I literally paid like $100 for a half. It's not that crazy, and that was at Woody House in Dispo. So I mean, I feel like everything was taxed a little bit more just because of that. So all that said, guys, we got to put the value for this one as decent. I'm going to have to put it in the decent category simply because it's not amazing, but it's not absolutely horrible. You know, that's just my view on things. So let me know what you guys think on that. Let me know what you guys think on that. Would you guys drop a 40? Drop a 40 on some of that Georgia pie from Cookies to taste it. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this is testing in at about 28% THC, so let me know what you guys think, man. I really want to find out what you guys say on that. Now, for the final verdict, is it worth it? Is it actually worth it, or is it not worth it at all? I would have to say that it's a pretty decent cup. I can't say it's regs because it's definitely not regs, bro. Like, it smells good, it looks good, and it actually tastes pretty decent. Is it 100% dank, like the dankest thing I've ever seen? Probably not, because the banoffee pie that I've got right here on the table right next to it actually looks just a little bit better than it, in my personal opinion, and actually tastes and smells a little bit better than it, in my personal opinion. But again, it's all about personal preference. So for me, my final verdict for this one, I'm gonna have to put the whole thing is decent. I'm gonna definitely drop it in decent, man. So the Georgia pie, the cookies, it was a decent experience. It was not bad at all. Was it out of this world? I probably won't say that it was, but I would say it definitely was pretty decent. If you've never tried any cookies, to drop a 40 and try a pretty banging 3.5, it's not that much of a bad thing, you know. It actually is pretty decent. So overall, I would definitely say that this is pretty decent. So the Dankometer final verdict, it is decent. So all that said, guys, the Georgia pie from Cookies is actually pretty decent, but in comparison to the homegrown, I would say that the homegrown is still just a little bit better. Not only do you know what you put in there, you put your own tender love and care in there, but it's just so much more rewarding and fulfilling when you're hitting up that homegrown. But I can't front though, the Georgia pie, I really can't front. It actually did surprise me a little bit. And I just packed another bowl, and I'm about to rip it up. Now I'm baked, guys. That was a great episode. Now let me know what you guys think about that. If you guys enjoy these types of episodes, I'm gonna definitely do more of them. But drop it in the comments down below and let me know when's the last time you hit up a dispo. What's your preference? Homegrown or dispo? What do you think is better? Where do you fall on that debate? Drop it in the comments and let me know. And wait, if you guys want to find out more about growing that fire, then definitely check out any episode on screen right now. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, fam.